something you have been sensing about a person in your life, something you have been trying to explain away, something you have been patient and generous about, something you have quietly carried without fully naming it, is about to become undeniably clear, and by the end of this video you will understand the 11 signs that this moment of truth is already approaching, so that when it arrives, you are not caught off guard but standing firmly in your own wisdom, your own clarity, and your own deeply earned understanding of what is real. This is perhaps one of the most sensitive topics that can arise for a Cancer, because you love deeply and you trust carefully. And when the truth about someone you have invested in begins to surface, when the picture you have been carrying no longer matches the reality in front of you, it touches something very tender and very central to who you are. But clarity, even when it arrives with discomfort, is always ultimately a gift. And what you are about to discover or confirm about someone is not meant to break you. It is meant to free you. It is meant to put your extraordinary gift for love and loyalty in the hands of people who have genuinely earned it. Stay with this all the way through. Every one of these 11 signs is already showing up in your life in some form, and recognizing them clearly is the first step toward the truth that is coming, and toward the peace that truth will bring. Sign 1. You have noticed a small but persistent inconsistency between what this person says and what they actually do. And every time you try to give it a charitable explanation, another inconsistency follows, making the charitable explanations increasingly difficult to sustain. This first sign is the one that most Cancers encounter first, long before the larger picture comes into focus. It is subtle. It is easy to dismiss in isolation. It might be a commitment that was made casually and then not honored. It might be a statement of feeling or intention that was never backed up by corresponding action. It might be a pattern of words that are consistently warmer and more reassuring than the reality they are describing. Individually, each of these moments can be explained. People are imperfect. People get busy. People mean well even when they fall short. And Cancer, whose generosity of spirit is one of the most genuine things about you, is very willing to find these explanations. You are willing to see the best in people. You are willing to give benefit of the doubt that many others would not extend. But there comes a point, a specific, unmistakable point, when the explanations begin to require more energy than the inconsistencies themselves do. When you catch yourself working harder to defend this person's behavior than they are working to actually change it. When the gap between what they say and what they do has become too consistent, too wide, and too much to keep filing away under the category of ordinary imperfection. That point is approaching. And when it arrives, Cancer, do not turn your considerable explanatory powers against yourself. Trust the pattern you are seeing. It is real. Sign 2. This person seems to know exactly what to say to reassure you when things feel uncertain between you. And yet, after the reassurance, nothing actually changes, and you find yourself back in the same uncertainty a short while later. The second sign is the cycle of reassurance without change. For Cancer, this cycle is particularly wearing, because you respond very genuinely to words that are spoken with apparent sincerity. You hear feeling and warmth in someone's voice, and something in you wants to believe it entirely. When someone says, "I am sorry," or "I will do better," or "you are the most important thing to me," you want those words to be true. You want to believe them. And for a moment you do. The relief of believing them is real. The warmth of feeling heard and valued after a period of tension is genuine. But when the same patterns re-emerge, when the same behaviors that caused the concern return, sometimes within days or even hours of the reassurance, what you are left with is a particular kind of exhaustion that is hard to describe. It is the exhaustion of a person who has been briefly comforted many times but never actually helped, who has received the form of reassurance without the substance of change, who has learned, slowly and against their own wishes, that this person's words and this person's behavior are operating on separate tracks. This is not something you want to know, but it is something you are beginning to know. And the truth of it is a kindness, however uncomfortable. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Sign 3. You find yourself monitoring your own behavior around this person, adjusting what you say, how you say it, what you bring up, and what you carefully avoid, in ways that have slowly and quietly become exhausting, and that you barely remember choosing to do. The third sign is the weight of self-editing. In a relationship where both people are genuinely safe with each other, where honesty is welcomed and imperfection is met with understanding, there is a quality of ease. You do not have to think too carefully before you speak. You do not have to brace yourself before sharing something real. You do not have to calculate the likely response before deciding whether to say the thing that is actually on your mind. But with this person, something has shifted. There is a careful quality to how you engage with them now. You have learned through experience which topics are safe and which ones will create a reaction you would rather avoid. You have learned to soften certain truths before you offer them, to frame your concerns in ways that minimize the risk of defensiveness or withdrawal, or the particular kind of coldness this person goes quiet with when they feel criticized. And the energy of this constant calculation is wearing you down in ways you may not have fully named yet. It is the energy of someone who does not feel entirely safe, of someone who has learned to manage rather than connect, of someone who is, in quiet and significant ways, alone within a relationship that is supposed to provide company. This is not the dynamic you deserve. And the truth about this person that is approaching will include the clarity that this dynamic is not an accident. Sign 4. Your closest friends or family members have said something gently, carefully, perhaps more than once, about this person, and though you defended them at the time, a part of you knows that what was said was not entirely wrong. The fourth sign arrives through the eyes of others. Cancer is deeply loyal, and that loyalty extends to the people you are in relationship with. When someone speaks critically of someone you care about, your instinct is almost always to defend, to offer the context that others might be missing, to speak to the goodness you know exists beneath the behavior others are observing. This is a beautiful instinct, but it can sometimes become a kind of loyalty that works against your own clarity. The people in your life who care about you, who have watched this relationship from a caring distance, are seeing something that your closeness, your emotional investment, and your genuine love may be making it difficult for you to see from the inside. They are not wrong because they are outside looking in. Sometimes that vantage point is precisely what allows a person to see clearly. The gentle but persistent concern of the people closest to you is not something to dismiss. It is not jealousy, and it is not a failure to understand the complexity of the relationship. It is love, and it is worried about you. Hear it, not as a command to make any specific choice, but as information, as the perspective of people who see you from the outside and want what is genuinely good for you. That perspective has value. Let it in. Sign 5. There are moments when you feel this person is being fully present with you and genuinely warm, and then moments, sometimes without any obvious transition, when they seem almost like a different person, distant or dismissive, or simply somewhere else entirely. The fifth sign is inconsistency of warmth. In a healthy relationship, there is a baseline of reliability, not perfection, not constant high intensity, but a general consistency in how a person shows up for you. You know roughly what to expect. The warmth you received yesterday is still present today, even in a quieter form. The care that was expressed last week has not inexplicably evaporated by the following weekend. But what you have been experiencing with this person is something more unpredictable. The warmth, when it is present, is genuine and lovely, enough that it makes the cold moments feel like anomalies to be explained rather than patterns to be recognized. But the cold moments keep coming. The withdrawal, the distance, the sudden shift in tone or availability or interest, these keep returning, often without explanation, often in response to nothing you can identify as having changed. And what this inconsistency creates in you is a kind of constant, low-level vigilance, a sensitivity to which version of this person you are going to encounter on any given day, an unconscious scanning of their mood and energy before you fully relax in their presence. This vigilance is exhausting, and more importantly, it is a sign. It is your own nervous system telling you that this relationship does not feel safe in the most fundamental sense, the sense of being able to simply be, without bracing yourself for what might shift. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Sign 6. You have caught this person in a version of the truth that was clearly shaped to manage your reaction rather than simply to be honest. And while you may have let it pass without comment at the time, you have not forgotten it. The sixth sign is the experience of managed truth. There is a difference between a lie and a managed truth. A lie is the invention of something that did not happen. A managed truth is the careful selection and arrangement of facts, designed to create an impression that may not fully reflect reality. It is subtler than a lie. It is more deniable. And for Cancer, whose nature is to believe the best, to fill in gaps with generosity rather than suspicion, managed truth is often more disorienting than outright dishonesty would be. Because there is always just enough actual truth present to make the doubt feel unreasonable. Just enough real information to make the question feel like an accusation. Just enough plausibility to make you wonder whether the discomfort you feel is about them or about some flaw in your own perception. But your perception is not flawed. You sense something in how the information was presented that did not sit quite right. You noticed the careful shape of the words, the things that were said and the things that were quietly left unsaid. And you felt, in that moment, a specific kind of hollowness, the hollowness of someone who has just realized that the person they are speaking to is concerned first with managing the outcome of the conversation and only second with genuine honesty. That feeling was accurate. Trust it. Sign 7. Your gut has been sending you a signal about this person for some time. A persistent, low-grade sense of something not quite right. And the fact that you cannot fully explain or justify it logically does not make it less real. The 7th sign is the sustained intuitive alarm. Cancer's intuition is one of the most sophisticated and reliable inner guidance systems of any sign. It operates through feeling, through sensation, through a kind of immediate knowing that bypasses rational analysis entirely. And when your intuition has something important to communicate, when something in your relational environment is genuinely misaligned with your well-being, it does not stay silent. It sends signals. Sometimes they are quiet. A faint sense of unease when certain topics come up. A small but consistent tension in your body when this person's name appears on your screen. A feeling of slight dread rather than genuine anticipation when you know you are about to spend time with them. These feelings may seem too small to take seriously. They may seem too vague to act on. And so you may have been giving them very little weight, choosing instead to focus on the concrete, the observable, the things you can point to and say, this is real, this I can name. But the intuitive signals are real too. They are, in fact, often the most real things of all, arriving before the evidence, signaling what the evidence will eventually confirm. Your gut has been saying something. Listen to it now, with all the respect that your most powerful inner faculty deserves. Sign 8. You have begun to notice that you consistently feel less like yourself after spending time with this person, quieter, smaller, more uncertain about your own perceptions than you were before the interaction began. The 8th sign is the shrinking effect. One of the most reliable ways to assess the health of a relationship is to notice what happens to your sense of self within it. Good relationships expand you. They make you feel more like yourself. More capable, more seen, more at ease in your own skin. They create space for you to be fully present without editing or managing or performing. Difficult or damaging relationships do the opposite. They shrink you. They leave you feeling subtly less certain of yourself. They create a quiet erosion of your self-trust, your self-confidence, and your sense of your own perceptions as reliable. After time with this person, do you feel energized or depleted? Clear or confused? More yourself or less? The answer to that question is one of the most honest assessments of this relationship you can make. Because you are not meant to be smaller. You are not meant to walk away from your closest relationships feeling like less than what you walked in as. You are meant to be held and reflected and expanded by the people who matter most in your life. And if that is not what is happening, that fact alone is worth knowing clearly. Sign 9. This person has shown you, in an unguarded moment, a version of themselves that felt very different from the version they usually present, and what you saw in that unguarded moment has stayed with you in ways you are still processing. The 9th sign is the glimpse behind the presentation. Everyone has a public self and a private self, a face they show the world and a deeper reality beneath it. In most people, the distance between these two is not dramatic. What you see is more or less what is there, adjusted for context and social comfort. But some people maintain a significant gap between how they present and who they actually are. And occasionally, in a moment of stress or frustration or simply when their guard comes down, the actual self becomes briefly visible. You have had one of those moments with this person. Something slipped. Something was said or done that did not match the carefully maintained presentation you are more accustomed to seeing. And whatever it was, however brief the moment was, it showed you something. Something that your mind has been turning over ever since. Something that, now that you have seen it, is very difficult to unsee. Do not discount that glimpse. Do not let the return of the more managed, more palatable version of this person convince you that what you saw was not real or not significant. Unguarded moments are often the most truthful ones. The glimpse you saw was information. It deserves to be taken seriously. Sign 10. A story or explanation that this person gave you about something from their past, or about another relationship, or about why things are the way they are, has stopped adding up in the way it once did, and the more time passes, the more clearly you can see the gaps in it. The 10th sign is the unraveling of the narrative. People who are not fully honest with themselves or others tend to construct elaborate explanations for their circumstances, their choices, and their history. These explanations are often delivered convincingly and in great detail. And when you first hear them, they may seem entirely plausible, even compelling. But there is something about an explanation built more on management than on truth. It does not hold up under time the way genuine truth does. Real truth stays consistent. Real truth does not require continual revision. Real truth holds together when examined from different angles, at different moments, in different conversations. A constructed narrative does not. It has gaps. It changes slightly depending on who is asking and what seems most important to establish in that particular moment. And you, with your extraordinary emotional intelligence and your deep capacity for reading what is actually being communicated beneath the words, have been noticing these gaps. They have been accumulating. And what they are adding up to is a picture that is quite different from the one you were originally given. Sign 11. Despite everything, despite the loyalty you feel, despite the investment you have made, despite the genuine care that is still present in you, a part of you already knows the truth about this person, and that part has been quietly waiting for the rest of you to be ready to receive it. The 11th and final sign is the knowing that has been present all along. This is the most important sign of all. Because for Cancer, knowing something and being ready to act on that knowing are often quite different things. You can know something in the deepest part of yourself and still spend months, sometimes years, trying to find an alternative interpretation, trying to find the explanation that makes the picture look different, trying to find the version of events that allows you to keep loving and trusting the way you want to love and trust. But that deeper knowing does not go away. It is patient. It waits. It holds the truth gently but firmly, keeping it alive beneath all the explanations and the charity and the generous interpretations, until the moment arrives when you are finally, genuinely ready to let it come fully to the surface. That moment is approaching, Cancer. Not because something catastrophic is about to happen, not because a dramatic confrontation is imminent, but simply because you have grown wise enough and strong enough and self-respecting enough to finally let yourself know what you have actually known for a while. And knowing clearly, cleanly, compassionately is where your freedom begins. You have two options after this video: close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are. The truth is not your enemy, Cancer. It never was. The truth is the most loving thing that could happen to you right now, because on the other side of it is a clarity, a lightness, and a freedom to give your love exactly where it belongs. You are ready. You have always been ready.